when we got here. So we are recording now. So we're really excited. We are transitioning from our first month of the program was super party focused, sales focused. This month is sponsoring focused. So we want to talk to you guys as much as we can about sponsoring, how to sponsoring, the importance of sponsoring, all of those things. And we do have a guest speaker coming on today, Debbie Pitts Palmer, and she is here. Awesome. So I'm going to do a little intro really quick, and then we're going to give Debbie the stage. So hopefully we can keep this one at 30 minutes total, so that we can all, get out of here pretty quick. But today we want to talk about host flipping. I love host flipping. I've been flipping hosts before flipping hosts was technically a thing. Since the beginning, when I first started, my priority was to flip as many hosts as I could, which to me was, offering the opportunity to every single person that I could that was hosting a party. And we've talked for a month about hosting parties, how to get hosts, all of that stuff. So now we're going to move into the flipping part of it. And I can say that flipping hosts was one of the, the pivotal parts of my business at the beginning, because I did offer it to every single host. And I remember at the beginning, feeling kind of, torn about it, I guess you could say, because some of those hosts, if I was giving them their PRV, meant that I was losing in my brain initially at the beginning, losing a little bit of money. It meant that instead of, making 25% off of a $500 party, I was making, 2 or 5 or 9%, depending on what my title was at that point. And I will be super honest with you guys, at the beginning, it was like a holy cow. This is a lot of money. This is a big difference. And it made me uneasy at the beginning, but getting past that and realizing the true potential of growing my team and growing my frontline, and how much better for my business that was, and how that was going to create, bring me in money over and over again, opposed to one single month, how important that was for my business, and having that mindset shift that I want to long-term make money, not just today. And that was a thing that I had to do in my brain. And it's just, one of my tips for it is I'm offering every single time that I have a host, I'm offering them 2 different sets of rewards. The first set of rewards is them joining, and I'm including, when I give them the rewards, how much cash they're going to make off of their party. And then the second set is the traditional host rewards. So I am offering them 2 different sets of rewards every time, and putting a lot of emphasis on this one, as in the one that if they join, because again, I'm telling them what they're going to make off of their party. And in the day and age that we're in, with the economy the way that it is, telling somebody that you're going to make $100 off of their party, if it's a $500 party, is substantial, and not many people are going to turn that down. So I'm always offering that to them. So that's one of my tips. But I am going to give the floor to Debbie, to where she can hop on and give you all of hers, because she is a sponsoring queen. If you don't know who Debbie is DPP, Debbie Pitts Palmer. She has earned annual mentor, God only knows how many years in a row. She is sponsoring. When I say annual mentor, I mean she's like doubling and tripling that every year, sponsoring 60, 70 people a year. So she's a big freaking deal. She knows what she's talking about. So make sure that you are taking down lots and lots of notes. And we will hop on at the end with your actionable task that we have for you guys, and your code word that I guess I get to come up with again today. So it should be interesting. So stay tuned. Debbie, I will give you the floor.
Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. It's choppy on my end. Okay. I guess you guys can hear me.
You're good. It's probably me that's choppy.
Okay. First of all, this is an impromptu for me, because I saw a tag. Somebody tagged me. I think 2 people tagged me in the share group when Rachel asked about party flipping. So of course, I had a lot of things to do. Like, okay, how can I not do this? Because I love sharing. So I'm not real prepared, but I do this so often until it becomes so easy for me. This is the easiest thing I've ever done, really. So how I got into this, I'll tell you guys how I started. I remember when Cincy first made this possible, I didn't like it. I was really upset, because we went to Idaho a few years ago, and your mentor, all of us, Rachel, I think Anna, all of us went out there. So since he had us to kind of give some feedback about some of the things that they could get from us about getting people to join. So when we came back from that, they came up with this host Joan. I'm like, oh, I don't like that, because I didn't understand it. And as I kept thinking to myself, I don't know how to promote this. So in my mind, I thought it was the hardest thing that they ever come up with. But once I figured it out and I saw that this was a real thing, and this was something that was not as hard as I made it be, and I saw it as a blessing, like, because there's so many people who aren't able to pay for the traditional $99 kit. And I've always been a person, I've always recruited, always. I mean, when I started recruiting, I love it. And when you do something you love, it becomes part of what you do. So, but again, this host Joan thing, oh my goodness, that was a whole nother thing. So I started doing it, but in 2020, I really turned up the volume, because in 2020, we were all in the house, and what came to me, I am very observant. I listen to people. So when you observe people and you find a way to provide them with the need that they're looking for, like one of my girls asked her if she wanted to host a party because she wanted some Disney items. And she said, well, I can't afford it. I said, okay, Disney, you can't get for half off, right? You can't get that for half off. You can't use the host rewards. So what I did, I set up a party for her. And I told her, I said, let's set this party up. I'm going to treat it like a fundraiser. Then this way, when we do the party, I'm going to actually give you all my commissions. So within about 7 days, she got sales for like over $600, something like that. I didn't tell her anything about joining. I just told her I was going to treat it like a fundraiser so that she can get those things that she wanted with the money, because I had to treat it that way. So when I explained to her, I like to recruit with the calculator. So when I pulled the calculator out and told her how much money I was going to give her, in this particular time, because it was done in 2 months. So we started it in like June and it carried over to July. So when you can't flip a party when it's split like that. You can only flip it when it's all in the same month, the PRV side. Now they can get the host kit at no cost. However, you can't flip the PRV unless it's in the same month. So in her case, PRV kind of carried over to the next month, but I was still giving her all my commissions. So she was like maybe at $300 and some the next month. So all I could flip was $300 and some that time. So she didn't get the PRV from the previous month because, we can't do that. So I said, you did an amazing job. You did all the work. I really didn't have to do anything. And she was the first person that I had to do this in 2020. And I thought, wow, she did this in 7 days. This is pretty incredible. So I started marketing this in a big way. I started reaching out to people. As I started looking at them, I started with my customers first because I wanted to show them how they can get some free and half off. And I started this way. I said, okay, let's do this. Let's make a VIP group. And most of them didn't know how to do it. So I got a YouTube video that I keep in my notes. I keep a lot of stuff in my notes. And because I recruit in large numbers, I have to make sure I keep things where I can just grab it, reach and grab it in my notes. I copy and paste a lot from my notes. So I have a lot of videos in my notes. Whenever somebody want to know the benefits of joining Scentsy, it's in my notes. Boom. When somebody wants to know how to do a party, boom, it's in my notes. Or I know how to find it. And so the VIP group, I used to set those up. I don't do that anymore. I let them do it. I'll say, okay, by the way, let me go ahead and send you this video so you can set up your VIP group and add all your friends and family there. And that's what I did. And I was actually doing these videos. I did live videos in these VIP groups. I was doing I would say, God, I was doing so many of them. I was probably going live in these groups, maybe like 10 a week. It was a lot of them because in 2020, I recruited 99 people. So I'm like, this is crazy. I can't keep up with all the stuff. So I started doing a pre-recorded video. I did a pre-recorded video, and I would just upload a video in there so their peeps would know what Scentsy was. And people were getting orders and everything. It was so fun to see them actually working in their groups. And we came up with, one of my team members came up with this idea of coming up with a post your page group. So my host would actually use the post in there. They would actually post those things in their group. And let's see what else I did. I did that, and it was then whenever I would offer them the opportunity to join, they were able to do the same thing because I taught them the basics of how to do this and how simple it was. Like, okay, you make the group, you name the group, you invite your friends and family. So they were able to teach that. So I make everything that I do simple, and it's got to be simple for me to remember, because half of the time I wouldn't remember if it was too complex. So in my mind, I have a goal every month to at least bless 2 lives a month. And I look at it this way: somebody blessed me. I'm not afraid to bless others because I've been blessed. So I'm going to extend that blessing to somebody. Now, I have had some parties where people would say, no, I'm just flat out not interested. I'll just get the free and half off. So what I'm going to do is find somebody else to bless. I'm not closing a party without a team member. That's what I told myself a long time ago. So I just find somebody else to close that party. I'm going to find somebody to join. As a matter of fact, this past Saturday, I had another party and the lady didn't want to join. So I spent 2 hours trying to find somebody. It took me 2 hours. I started at 11 o'clock and I didn't finish till 1 o'clock. So what I did, I went through my list, through my VIP group first. I don't know if you guys, I went through the chats where you can actually do a chat and do a, what do you call it? Community chat. I did that. And then went through my project broadcast. I went through Facebook. It took me 2 hours. But what I did, I made a post, and actually it wasn't a post, it was a message. And all I did was copy and paste it. I ain't had time to redo that. So I started out with good morning. And because it went from 11 o'clock to 1, then I had to change the greeting from good morning to good afternoon. That's the only thing I changed. I just said, oh, by the way, good morning. What did I say? Oh my gosh, some brain freeze. Let me see. I want to tell you guys exactly what I said. Where's my phone? Crap, I left my phone. So anyway, I went in the message and said, I just wanted you to know I have an opportunity to help bless somebody with a free kit. You could say free in a private message. So that's what I said. And I had one person, I reached out to about, well, I put it this way, maybe about 50 people in Facebook Messenger. I think I had 1 or 2 to respond back via project broadcast. And I had, through Facebook, I think about 50 people responded. Well, I'll put it this way. 50 of them were messaged, and maybe about 20 looked at it and didn't say anything. Some said, no, not right now. And one girl said, yes. She said, yes, I'll do it. And when I looked at her and I saw that she asked me maybe 2 years ago, the same girl. And this time she said, I'll accept it. And I asked her, I said, how could this business bless you, is what I asked her. I always ask people that because I want to know how I can help them. She said, well, I'm in need of car repairs. She said, I got 3 kids, I'm a single parent, and I need some extra income to repair my car. I said, okay, fine. Okay, let's go ahead and make your VIP group. She did. She made her VIP group, and I try to make sure they get at least 25 people in the group. I said, invite all your friends and family, including me, so I can help you with your lunch party. She did all that. She sent me her information. I added her to the group and introduced her. So she got her kit today. This was Saturday. She got her kit today, and she's still thanking me. Now, she did not earn it, but I was not going to close that party without a new team member. But she's so grateful. And she's forever telling me, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. So it's somebody out there that's really needing this. I mean, all this time, 2 years passed, and I didn't follow back up with her when she reached out to me 2 years ago. And this time she said she was ready. So something else I do, I keep an ongoing list. I keep a list of people who I've talked to over time in my little notes. I probably have about 100 people in my list, in my notes, who I have spoken with about joining over time. Some of them ask me, some of them I ask, and from time to time, that's my go-to list when I have somebody who does not want to join, but yet they reached a number in their party. I'm gonna go find somebody. I'm determined. If it take me all day, I'm gonna find somebody to put in there, because I'm not closing the party without a team member. And when you start developing this habit, you will earn annual mentor. You will earn trips at the top level, because for the past, every incentive trip I've earned, I earn at the top level. I have made annual mentor for several years, and it's a goal of mine, because I start this strong. I always believe in front loading. So I front load my recruits. I already have two new team members this month already. I always like to front load my team members. I front load everything. I front load even with annual mentor. So I'm on a mission to do that. So when you set a goal, and always know that you're looking to bless somebody, people receive that. And they know it. They can tell, when you go live and the things that you share and you talk about how since he's blessed you, people pay attention. A lot of people who I've recruited through parties are people that have noticed me. When I go out there and say, I bless this person, whenever somebody join my team, I make a big announcement. This person, congratulations, she started her own business at 0 cost. I let people know that. And when people see that, they start raising their hand. Okay, I want to see how I can do that. And I set them up. And that was the time that I used to just give kits away with no requirements. I don't do that anymore. No, because I want to go back and get my kit because they don't do right. So I make sure that they do some things, even for those who don't earn the kit. I make sure that they work towards the kit in some way. Like the other day, I had a lady, she did everything I told her to do with the VIP group. She invited all the people, invited me. I did a video and everything. So when it was time for her when I was getting ready to send the email for her to join, I asked this question. I said, do you have a credit card so that we can activate your website? And she was hesitant. She said, I got some kind of card, can't remember. Anyway, she came back and said, I thought you said the kit was free. I said, well, it is. The kit is free, but you have to have a card to activate your website. That's not going to help you. Well, that's all right. I changed my mind. So guys, whenever you get somebody to start their business, make sure they have a credit card. So what I start doing now, I make them, when they get the enrollment, I make them screenshot their website. If they don't screenshot their website to me, I will send them another email, because I'm not closing it without validating that they have a website. Because I've actually closed some parties and people said no to the website. So I don't do that anymore. I don't let them do that to me anymore. So I make sure that they screenshot that website to me. And this is what I tell them. Look, I want to make sure that your website is going to be something that's easily searched, because some of them have long sentences for a website name. Don't do that. Make it short and sweet. So yeah, I started doing that, because you don't want them to say no to the website, especially if you're blessing them, especially even if they earn it. You want to make sure they say yes to the website. So I hope that this helped, guys. This is a real impromptu for me. I didn't have.
I love it. Perfect. So many golden
Here's
moments.
the thing, I will say every single time, impromptu is best because it's the most authentic. If you have to prep for it,
100%.
you don't really know what you're talking about, right? Like what you know, like you don't have to prepare for it. And that's why you do so well with what you do is this is all stuff that you talk about, you share, you preach. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
We love it. Impromptu is 100% always the best.
Yes. And you guys are awesome. I mean, of course, I always follow you guys, always Rachel and Ann. I follow them all the time. Your stories. Oh my God, stories, guys. Put it out there. I put stuff in the stories all the time and ask people, ask me about how you can get this for free.
I love
Not the kit, but for products, ask me how you can get the product for free. That's how you can book some parties and, take it from there.
I love it. Well, and I love how Debbie had mentioned like sharing the way that Scentssy's blessed your life. And that's one of my favorite things because I think that we get so caught up in, Scentsy, the only way to change Scentsy can change your life is if you're retiring from your job or doing all these huge things, when in reality, a huge blessing for somebody can be getting their nails done or buying groceries or paying for a tank of gas. That is life changing for some people. And I think that we forget that sometimes. So sharing the ways that Scentsy has changed your life, even if it's just being able to get your nails done, or impromptu going to dinner with your husband without having to plan it. Things like that can be life changing for somebody. So sharing those things, and accrediting Scentsy to that, I think does make a big difference too. And it is a huge, one of those things that people are watching. People are seeing those things. So making those posts with a huge, part of joining. Teresa, Anna, do you guys want to add anything?
I just want to say this because I geek out over things like this, but I remember going to my first SFR as a director and seeing Debbie out there, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go over there and introduce myself. Like, Debbie, my name is Anna Hughes, and I just think you're the coolest. Like,
So sweet.
Nice, but like I geek out over people when I think that they're like, you make such an impact. Like, I did not have like such a great like leadership experience, but the thing is we find those people who we resonate with, and we get what we need wherever we're going to get it from. And I just want to say thank you for being a huge part of my journey.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you. So sweet.
Too. I met Debbie in, I believe it was South Africa, but I used to see her on YouTube and stuff. And when I saw her, I was kind of shell shocked, like, that's Debbie Pitts Palmer, and I was afraid to talk to her. But when you all meet her at SFR, because everyone in this group is going to SFR, very down to earth, very personable, very successful, and just very genuine. So thank you, Debbie.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I get to see her next week here in Texas.
Yes.
I wanted to say something. Rachel said something that really I love analogies. And so when she was talking about, some people really hesitate sponsoring because they look at it like I'm going to lose my best customer, and 25% commission, that's going to drop down to 9%, 10%, what have you. I was that way for like a couple of years. People would ask to join my team. I didn't want them to join my team. I was totally arrows in. I had spent all that time finding these customers, building this clientele just to lose them is what my thought process was. I actually had a team member that started building a team, made it up to superstar consultant, which is a really nice pay grade. And she didn't understand the compensation plan and she just abruptly quit. And what we don't realize is that you can make a little bit off of a whole lot, which is that 25%. Wait, a little bit. Yeah. Terry Levi was giving us this analogy. Or you can make a whole lot off of a little bit, meaning you can make a whole lot of money off of a smaller percentage. And so I thought about the analogy about Scentsy Club, where sometimes, you can have that customer purchase from you once a month or whatever, and then you have to try and track them down and follow up. Or you can have this automated setup where you're earning PRV and commission from your Scentsy Clubbers on a regular basis. That's what sponsoring is. But here's the thing, it's not just about earning money or earning TWV or GWV. It's also providing the stewardship that goes along with it. So Scentsy obviously gives us a bonus for doing that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that instead of getting the one order here, the one order there, once you have a team member that's active on a regular basis, you will see, if you're leading your team, no matter what your title is, and pouring into them, you will see your income, grow. And so, sales will feed you for today, but sponsoring will feed you for the future.
And I can tell you, looking at, like, I just did the math in my head really quick and thinking about my frontline directors, out of the frontline, all the frontline directors that I have had, oh gosh, my face is right there. Out of all the frontline directors that I've had, over 80%, doing the math in my head, it's at least 80% have came from host flipping. So those are numbers, legitimate numbers from my personal frontline directors that I wouldn't have had if I wouldn't have offered that opportunity to them, which if I didn't have my frontline directors, my business would not be what it is. So that's a legitimate, number for you guys. And Heather says, how do you keep your team going? Mine seem to drop off. And on that note, is I will tell you guys, the thing is the majority of people that you bring in aren't going to do anything with this business. That's why it's a huge numbers game and why we want you guys to sponsor a ton of people. That's why my goal is to sponsor at least 20 a year, to where I know that if I'm sponsoring 20 a year, hopefully 14 will certify for Angel Mentor. So you're going to have a lot of people that don't want to do anything with this business, and that's okay. That's
But
totally
on the
fine.
flip side, because I know Heather's on my team, so we've kind of had a sidebar discussion. If we disappear from our team, or if we're not
Yep.
pouring into them, like tonight, we're here. Come heck and high water, we're here. And life gets hard. We all have kids. We all get busy. But the moment that you disappear as their sponsor, and you're not reaching out to them, and you're not following up with them, heck yes, they're going to drop off. They are. So there's a two-way street to that. And that's for everybody. I'm speaking, for not just Heather, but anyone
mean,
on here.
I got an analogy for you. I know you love analogies. Okay.
Yes.
It's like if you hired a personal trainer and your personal trainer just stopped showing up, are you going to continue to go? Like, your personal trainer is only going to hold you so accountable, right? Like, we can only hold you so accountable that you'll come. But if we stop coming, are you going to go to the gym and train yourself? Maybe for a while, but after a while, you're not going to have that same level of motivation. So we do this all together. You keep showing up, you keep doing the things, and that's what's going to make the biggest difference.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
why we paid that bonus also, is, that bonus isn't just like, woo, you got extra money. That bonus is, I'm sitting in a hotel stairwell and I'm showing up for my team because that was my commitment to them. That bonus is, I'm trying to log on to Zoom. There should be 100 people coming on. There's not, but I'm still here anyway. Or I'm at my son's last baseball game and I'm pouring into my team. That's where that bonus comes in. You're showing up, you're training, you're recognizing your team members as well. So anyway, we can go on and on and on about that, but I know tonight was about, host flipping. And I want to tell you is, who was it? I think I was talking to Chloe Cox one time, and she had someone that will not close a party until she finds that person, to flip it to. And it might not be the host of the party. It could be a guest in the party. It could be your neighbor, but make sure that, and that's going to be the call to action. And I'll let Rachel share that.
And I love that Teresa said that, because that's one of the things that I 100% try to do in my business is I have 2 parties from May sitting because I do not want to close them. And that means that my host rewards, I'm not getting them until I'm not getting my stuff that I've got for free and half off or whatever until I find somebody to attach that kit to. So I find somebody to add to that kit add to that party as the host. Of course, it doesn't always work out. I can't close every single party with somebody attached, but I do make it a goal that the majority of parties that I have that I close, someone is attached to that as a host flip. And that's one of my personal goals myself too. So we're going to tell you guys your actionable task, your thing that we want you to do, your homework, if you will, for this week. Teresa is going to post a list of 100. We want you guys to create a list of 100/dream team, whatever you want to call it, but write down 100 names of people. That could be customers, that could be hosts, or that could be someone that you would love to join your team. And then we want you to take it a step further, because this entire month is about sponsoring. So we want you guys to reach out to one person every single day. And of course, we understand you're human. You're going to have busy days or whatever that you're not going to really be able to, but make it a goal that the majority, give yourself maybe 20 days out of the month that you're reaching out to someone about the opportunity of Scentsy, whether that's messaging them and saying, hey, I want to bless somebody with a gift of Scentsy. Do you know anybody that would be interested in this? It's a reverse psychology thing. They might know somebody that they know, maybe is looking for a part-time job, maybe is looking for some extra income, or they can say, oh, I think I'd be great for it. So messaging them something like that. Yeah, asking for referrals, maybe that they could ask themselves too. Messaging hosts, messaging your best customer. Look who spent the most money with you last year. If they spent a lot of money with you in Cincy last year, you need to be asking them to join. People that are maybe your biggest Disney customers, reaching out to them and saying, hey, we're coming into fall. Believe it or not, our fall catalog is going to be here soon. People are going to start looking for the holidays, things like that. You should join. Whatever it may be, asking those people, asking someone every single day about joining Cincy. And yes, like Anna said, not 7 in one day. We want you to do 1 a day. It's a 30-second text message, a 30-second phone call, whatever it is. Everybody, I don't care what your schedule is. I don't care how busy you are, whatever it could be. Everyone has time to send 1 message every day. And if you say that you don't, then it's completely an excuse. And we are about busting excuses here, not making them. And you've got to devote 30 seconds a day to messaging 1 person, okay? So your homework is a list of 100 and 1 person a day. Teresa's gonna post a list of 100 that we want you guys to fill out and we wanna see it. Post it in the comments of the homework post and send us screenshots. Not even send us a post screenshots of the conversations you're having, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna get stuck on the wording and get stuck on the conversation and overthink it. Remember, my motto is 1 sentence. It's not going to work every time, but my thing is 1 sentence anytime you ask a question. And of course, like I said, it's not always going to work, but post the wording, post a screenshot in that homework post. You don't know who it's going to help. Maybe Cassie will make a post and Sylvia will see it and say, oh my gosh, I love the wording. And that could make a change for her business. So let's help each other by posting those screenshots in the comments too. I'm going to check on the thread. And I love the reminder in my happy mail asking my customers new who might be interested in extra money and discounts. I love that. Another thing to watch for is people making posts asking about who's hiring, who knows a work from home job, things like that. Granted, they're not really looking for Cincy, but that's when I go in and I make a comment and all I say is you should try what I do. I don't send them my join link. I don't say do Cincy. All I say is you should try what I do. Super simple. It's not spammy. You're not going to see somebody commenting on your post and saying, don't try MLM. Super simple. Okay. So look for that too. Anything else, Teresa and Anna? Are we good?
So I like how you said that. Tonight I was looking at our neighborhood Facebook group and I saw a mom say, hey, my boys are trying to earn some extra money for vacation, this summer so they can have souvenir money. They're willing to pick your weeds, cut your grass, whatever. And so I am going to reach out to her and say, you should think about doing, what I do. And then I'm going to, if she wants to consider doing that, because mom might need some souvenir money too. And she can do this while they're at Disney or wherever they're going, So there's a lot of opportunity. And I just want to piggyback on what Rachel said is I'm going to make the post with the interactive list of 100. I want you to post your list of 100. Don't worry about me trying to steal your person. We don't do that. It's Cincy Spirit. I don't know who your Maria is, and you don't know who my, Megan is. So I want you to post that. But also the group really needs to be interactive. And so share your successes and even share if you got to know, or, it's okay, but let's keep this moving, keep the momentum going, and then help each other out, because some might not have a yes because maybe their wording is off and somebody in our group, can support with that. So I'm excited. Let's blow up the group this week with communications, with support. And if you actually follow the action item for tonight, every last one of us should at least have 1 new team member. We're going to get a lot of no's, and then those are going to turn into party hosts. We're going to get other no's, and that's going to turn into single orders. But we're going to move. We're going to have conversations one-on-one. Do not get off of this call and just post on your timeline or your story, who wants to join Cincy? That's not what we said tonight, guys.
The days of post and pray from COVID are gone. If you're just posting, you're not going to get sales. If you're just posting, you're not going to grow your team. I promise. We are back in the OG way of actually reaching out, actually doing all of those things. Post and pray is gone. I had one more thing I wanted to add when Teresa said about her, the girl asking for money. Me and Anna actually did that for Disney 3 years ago is we did that for the kids. So when we knew we were going to Disney with the incentive trip is we had the kids selling Scentsy. That was their money that they got. And we both raised hundreds of dollars for Deacon River and Willow to spend at Disney. And it was just them, you know, going live. And I made a postcard that said, what do we call it? Mouse money. It was mouse money is what we called it. And I made a postcard.
Right. Because we couldn't say Disney dollars because you had
Yeah.
to like, we had to not had to be in compliance, you know?
Yeah. So we did mouse money and we put the kids' pictures on them and then I remember I put a sample of Mandalorian wax on it, you know, and made it a big thing and it worked.
Yep.
So watch for
And the
people
thank you
to-
cards, the thank you
Yes.
cards were from our kids. Like they had a picture of Deacon laying on the ground with all of his Disney Scentsy buddies around him. Like we
Yep.
branded it. Yeah.
And then
You
that's what
worked
I
that
went
thing.
live at the airport when I gave the kids their gift cards and had them thank my customers who bought stuff that got them the gift cards. So watch for that too. Watch for people who are going on vacation. Things like that. Yes, their own 6-packs. But watch for people that are going on vacation and things like that and offer them, you know, the opportunity to raise mouse money for their kids or beach money for their kids for souvenirs. Those are great ways to do fundraisers, which can lead to obviously flipping hosts. So unless anybody has anything to add, I think we're good. I think that's it. And we are in the works of a fantastic guest speaker next week too. So stay tuned. It's not 100%, but you're not going to want to miss it. This whole month is about sponsoring. This is the month that really can be a game changer in your business. So we want to see you here. Encourage your buddies to come on and make sure that you are, you know, watching the playback if you're not able to hop on. Today's code word, which again, this is something that I just looked at in the hallway of this hotel lobby, is stink bug. So stink bug is the keyword. No one's going to guess it. They're going to have to watch it to know what it is, but stink bug is today's code word. All right, guys, if you're just hopping on, be sure to watch the playback. We will see you guys next Wednesday at 9 p.m. All right, love you guys. Thank you, Debbie. Bye, guys.
Good night.